All right, hey, I'm Alex. As you guys probably can tell by my Facebook name, we've got 4 minutes before the 4 o'clock candle closes. It's Christmas Eve. Still in this yen trade. It's been going sideways for like 3 days now. Hopefully, we can get this candle here to fall off. But yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of talk here, hang out for 3 more minutes until this candle closes, and then we can get started. But I guess I can start things by this is just some music I listen to while playing StarCraft. It's a real-time strategy game. It's pretty intense. I like to play it in my free time. Here's my trades. Still the same. Nothing changes, or no changes yet. Let's leave these up here for a minute. Hopefully my face isn't in the way. I don't think it is. Ugh. But yeah, hopefully we can put an end to this drawdown this week. I think the market's pretty slow though because of Christmas. If I had to put a guess out there, all the big money is on Christmas vacation. Someday I hope to join them. It'd be cool. It's like my 2020 goals are to get funded through T3. They do this thing where you have to put $10,000 up and you trade that. You keep, I think, 90% of what you make. And then after 6 months, they do a review and then they give you their money. And then you keep 50% of your commission. My goal is to get like $60,000 in actual capital. Everybody in the prop firm world seems to talk about how much like leverage you get. So like it's like 100 to 1. So if they gave you like $10,000, that would be like $1 million, I think, in tradable funds. 10,000 times, I think that's right, 10,000, because it would be 10 100,000s, I believe. So yeah, but to me that doesn't really matter because it's your actual capital that, like for me, goes at risk. And I try to risk 1% of my trading, or 1% of my account to hit 2% with each trade. That's the idea, with a 10% a month goal. So I figure if I can hit that with $60,000, I keep half of it, I'll make $3,000 a month. And yeah, I could use an extra $3,000 a month. But for now, I got $10,000, and I'm struggling to make $1,000 a month. So hopefully, between this month and next month, I want to start it in like February, and then get funded in like July or August, whatever that math comes out to, 2 to 8, yeah, August. So yeah, due to this drawdown and coming home from deployment, like just a lot of like stress involved there, which is kind of be a little rough. So for me, I changed some things. I was messing around trying some stuff out in my trading account and it didn't work. Mostly so I could just move a red box from the back to the front. So I was using 6 boxes instead, and it still like messed up my eyes a little bit. But here we go. It is 11 o'clock and this candle just opened. So we're good to go. So here on the euro, ooh, look at that. We would have made money on this trade if I would have set it up. So even at this lower level, put your stop a little bit below there, depending on your wiggle room. That hit at 5 in the morning. Yeah, that would be a solid 2 to 1 right there, assuming you placed your stop in the or actually this would have been, if you would have taken this whole zone from the wick to wick. And sometimes I'll do this wick to wick if it's just like a drop base rally like that with what would it be, like the morning star or shooting star style candle, because this did react off that. That would have been a really good trade. But we didn't, well, I didn't take it because of my rules, so that doesn't really matter. So this is what I was talking about when it's kind of weird with the boxes. So to make this a box, it's going to look like that, and you can't even see it. So what I'll do is I'll actually just overlap it. So I'll go like this, I'll move this box over. And that's what I was talking about too. If I have 6 boxes, the previous one's going to be red, so I just bring the red one over, but it messes with my eyes, I think, a little bit, and I see things that might be opportunities that I shouldn't. So yeah, so that's what we're looking at on the euro. Not really a whole lot of opportunity there. Here we go. Pound is starting to trade a little higher. Now, as you can see, it did come up and then it closed below here, but it didn't get the close above until this candle. So that's why I make this whole box green, because this is where the first close above the range of the previous candle happened. And that's just that's my rule. So that gets the green box now. Looks like the Aussie gets a red box. Low spot there. Still waiting for it to either turn around or create a new high. If you do take this trade, you can also just wait for it to still come on the 240. So this is the trend time frame. This is the only thing you're worried about trend on. If you want to take this, go for it. You know, it's probably a solid trade. If you're like me and like to be precise and measure it, it doesn't work. But if you eyeball things, which I do sometimes do, I just try to be pretty precise for these videos so that it's consistent with everything. But if you just eyeball and that looks like 50%, you know, that's still, you can get a decent trade out of there maybe if you want to take that. I'm not going to though. New Zealand dollar busted through daily supply here, so we got to readjust that, and we'll just take it up right to the next one here. This might open up some buy opportunities for us. Let's just see what the markets are showing here. So yeah, we get another green box. It's so weird to say in professional trading, like, oh, we get this simple little box for our efforts. So for me, all right, cool. It closed above there. As you can see here, it closed. This is the candle that closed above, so probably already reacted off of some. Yep, right there. No, well, yeah, technically, oh, it would be right here. This is the trade. Blue. You got these candles, so you got 50%. This is 50% and closed inside. This is 50% and closed inside, and this just barely closed out. So that's the leg out candle. It did come back. That's definitely a 2-to-1 trade right there. Oh, it isn't fresh, but it also hasn't been pierced that badly. So maybe it is something worth looking towards. It did close above there. Let's see if it closed above on 240 though. Not quite yet. So that's probably something I'll wait for before I take that, but I think it is a pretty good opportunity. Maybe let's see what the profit margin is here. So this would be green. And I don't put the second one up yet because if I'm not going to take the trade, I'm not going to put all my lines on there, you know. So 3 points to 7 points. Yeah, if that's your style. I don't take things like that because the spread will just take you right out. You know, you get in it here, and then it's like, say, a 2-point spread. It goes down one way, and then, or 1 point, and then you're out of the trade. That sucks. So that's going to actually be a no-go for me. If it was futures, maybe it'd be different because futures have way tighter spreads, which is also part of the reason I trade like these higher time frames. I do want to get into futures though, and day trade that through the morning. 155. It's the same. This one, 161 and 160. So this gets its green box now. Boom. There we go. So not really anything here. You can't take, for me, even though it broke out, well, we talked about the wick, but even if this closed up here, above here, now this would still be out of the question because it would be a downtrend into anything that it comes down to in there. So it would be counter trend. That's a no-go for me. Dollar franc. Red. All right, and for this would probably be a solid trade. This one won't anymore because that's now like it's got this green box, the red box. If the red box came down right into there, and then you get like a push out, that would be good. But since it came down and didn't go all the way in there, this is no longer valid because now you got the green box and that's a downtrend into the zone. So that's a no-go for me. Maybe when it closes below the pink line, then I'll get in and I'll look on the hourly that we got this whole thing that's a level on level, and this put the stops above. Probably since you got the room there, this is like an eyeball thing, put it above here. That should keep you safe. But yeah, we're gonna wait for that to close below the pink line before we decide to take anything on that. Here's the my in trade here. It did close below, so it finally gets its own red box there. Hopefully this cleared a little bit of demand out, and then this, in the next 2 candles, in the next 8 hours, we can take the profit there. It's like a $240 profit for me, so it's 2%. If I make that in my week, I'd call that that's a pretty good week. 2%. That's a fifth. That's 25% of the way to my goal. So I call that a win, even if that's the only trade I get in. So here we go. We got another green red box here. So it looks like I'm probably gonna have to cancel these trades here, because now for this to get up there, unless it just wicks up and came down without me looking at it, like it wouldn't make the green box. It would just be a really weird red box, and you couldn't draw the green box up there. Or you could and ignore this and then draw it up. If we ever get a trade like that in these videos, I'll show you how that works. But today, I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel these, because now they're going to be like, it's not part of the trend anymore. Well, except this one. No, so now this actually turns into what I call a range trade, a standard range. As long as if it gets just a straight green box going up in there, I'm going to keep that one. This top one though, I'm going to go ahead and delete that, because I don't think it's really in the realm of expectation. But now if we do get something, you know, with the boxes that looks like you get a green one, then like a red one, that'll definitely cancel this trade, because now we lose these 2 boxes, and the third box is going to be 1 out of boxes, so this won't even be the box anymore. And it's definitely counter trend now. So that's kind of the rule on that. So that's why this is still a range trade, because if it does continue down, whatever might be in here, if I place the trade, if it closes below this area, if it closes below the pink line, now these 2, like whatever would be in here and here, would become the trade. This would be the standard short, and this would be the standard short breakout, or standard range short, I think I call them. But yeah, that top, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Alright, so I go into here. What was that pair? Euro yen. So that'll be Euro yen 1. No entry. And I'll just put like too far away. And what I'll do, since I got the same, it's basically the same picture, I'll just wait for the other one to see what it's going to do. And then I'll take the picture and then post it on both of those trades, the pictures. So leave those lines up. Next set here, next pair, Euro yen, pound yen. So that's kind of a similar picture as what we were looking at previously, where you got, kind of looks like it's an up and then down move, but it doesn't have the close above until here. So this is all just going to be a green box. I did some research actually. I was looking at like drawdowns, and I don't think Online Trading Academy really talks about the drawdown too much. I'm thinking about sending an email to support. That doesn't count because we're low on the curve, and we just came into demand. So we're going to wait for price to turn here and show an uptrend low on the curve, or bust through there. But I think I'm going to shoot him an email and be like, hey, can we talk about like drawdowns and what the drawdown of OTA is? And basically what the drawdown is say you have like a trading plan that works, similar to like me having it. This will work, and it works pretty well when it does. When it doesn't, it sucks. But it's basically how much, like, your greatest drawdown is like how much you'll lose on like any given period, and what the potential of your trading plan is for losses as well as wins. So like obviously we want it to win all the time, but it doesn't. It's like, okay, if I'm in a losing wave or a bad part of the wave or the cycle, what's that going to look like for me as a trader? because that's stuff I need to know. So this is what I was talking about too the other day, and that'll help you actually too mentally, because you got to stick with the plan, man. You know, you can't just like when it's going bad, you can't switch your plan. You got to stick with the plan and draw a line in the sand of where, like, okay, I'm going to take a break from this, or like figure out something new to do for trading. You know, take a look at your stuff. Look back if you were winning. Why did you win? That's why I keep all these journals and stuff. Like when I was on deployment, I did that. I had when I just finally figured this out, like I did it a couple weeks in a row really well. Then I kind of just naturally started adding different things to it. And for whatever reason, this is really annoying. See, this is like one of the problems with this. But anyways, I started doing things like differently, and they were wrong, and it costed me like weeks in a row. I was just losing, and I'm like, why am I losing? So I went back, I looked at what I was doing. We still haven't closed it below here. So this is actually like the area to look for the close for. Once we close below here, then this might, well, that would still be counter trend. So that's a no-go. So here we go. But I went back and I looked at like, what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? And like, I was trying to combine these and make these like, I was using different ways of making the boxes and trying to figure it out like that, and it just wasn't working. So 587, 586. Oh, wait, that doesn't matter because we don't have this. 583. It's lower than 584. So here we go. We got a red box right here. But yeah, so it was messing me up, and I was able, since I kept everything. Oops. Since I kept everything, I just looked back and I was like, okay, this is what I was. This is what I'm messing up here. Look at this, did work. You could have taken some money out of that trade that this kind of wicked through. Some people count the wick, some people don't. I count them because they're there. But yeah, so I was able to like go through and relook at my trading plan and figure out like, okay, I was just doing this simple like go to the close outside of the previous candle thing, and that's what worked for me. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to do that, and lo and behold, I started doing really well again, just using 5 boxes. Because there was another point too where I was just letting the boxes kind of just go, and like that started messing with me too. So I've tried a few different things with this, and this is just what keeps working. So these trades are no good because now that'll be like, this is an example of where it would wick up. So if you get a candle that looks like, well, let me just draw like a line. So if it like wicks up into there and close looking something like that, that would be like, oh shit, I didn't like watch this. Thank God it did that. And the Euro Aussie pairs did that. We'll see that on the Euro New Zealand, but this would have actually been a really good 4-hour trade that I was in right before I canceled my 240 levels. I think it was right here it did that. This is the candle, this is the wick. Yeah, see, so you get these wild wicks sometimes, and sometimes that'll happen. I had a New Zealand dollar trade in Afghanistan that did that, and it paid me really nicely. I just wasn't paying attention, and sometimes you get paid pretty well for that, but try not to do it. Even if you would win, you still got to follow your rules. That's what's important. Follow your rules, stick to your plan. If you have a plan that works, it'll pay you. It'll also take your money sometimes too, but that's just the name of the game. So you got to be a little cautious too. So I just moved this to the top of there because this would be technically the breakout area anyways, and I don't want it. It just looks ugly when they overlap, I think. So we got a similar picture. So here's maybe some opportunity in here. We'll have to cancel this top trade here because that's no longer valid for as per my rules. But let's see if we can find something that's decent here. Oops, put the magnet back on. Oh, if you need the magnet, just use the magnet tool, and that'll snap it to the high, low, close, or open of the price. And you just like, I think we talked about that before, but that's the next thing to know. So this is at the high, and all you do is click on the little white circle, and you can drag it to wherever you want it. Oops. Let's hit tab. And that's pretty useful for like setting up your zone. So 20, 30, that's a 1 to 1.5. The move itself was more than 2 to 1 away, but for my rules, I need 2 to 1 at least. Because if it comes back up, I need to move my entry. I don't want to go below 1 to 1. So, actually, I'll make this purple. The purple lines I make just so I can see, like, trades I was looking at but maybe didn't take or wasn't ready to at the time. Going back up, gotta cancel this top trade. Another thing this trade plan gives me like the right to do is cancel trades and know when to like cancel a trade. I'm gonna go back into here, Euro New Zealand. And since we got 2 trades in the Euro New Zealand, it's the same thing. It'll be the same picture either at the end of the week when I cancel everything out. I'll take a look at it again, or when the other trade hits. So standard range short. Oops, I switched these. Sorry. This is the no entry one. There we go. There we go. And I like to leave notes like this because now these are different kinds of trades after looking at them. So it just helps me to remember that I updated and what those updates are and why they are. So when I look at the chart, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's not right. Or wait a minute. Yeah, something's different here. Look at that. I tried to do a video a little bit later today so we could get the actual closes and see what the markets were going to do. This would be nice if we came into daily supply, get a nice little green box going here, nice red box, get some nice, we get the range trade, and then we'll have the actual breakout standard trade there. That'll be really nice. Also doing it that way for like my trading log journal thing, whatever you want to call it, giving me different types of trades. Like now I can compartmentalize everything in my mind and I really know what I'm looking at. So I can tell myself, like, okay, what kind of trade is this actually? It's not just like, oh, there's a level, it looks good, it's a trade. Because I've done that, and it just, for me personally, it doesn't work. Okay, this is still going to the high side. Look at that. That's a big move. That is a huge move away. Hopefully we can get a nice big drop right into there and just run it right back up. That is not out of the realm of possibilities. Sick. Except I am going to adjust my curve here. Because that's right there. I think that's a safe move to do. So as you see, we have that candle right there. I think I missed it. So here's the breakout. This failed. This is like hanging like, hey, look, there's orders up here. That kind of thing becomes like a trap area. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at there. I hope all this stuff like makes sense. And if it doesn't, like I'm just gonna keep. It's gonna be like on repeat basically, and I'm gonna say it over and over again. And hopefully, eventually, if it doesn't make sense, it'll just be like, oh wait, yeah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, the whole having a couple different kinds of trades, so you know what you're looking at here. You know, and then you can log it that way, and then you can see which ones work, which ones don't. And if something doesn't work too often, like then just don't do it anymore. Pound Aussie, but I hope it does make sense. All right. Because even like this right here, if I drew this Put a pink line there, the breakout line. It is low on the curve here. In this trade, that's a beautiful looking like entry right there. It's just in the wrong location, the wrong context, I guess they like to say in the XLTs. But like, even if that did work, I'm glad I didn't take it, because that can develop bad habits too. Like, if you take trades that you shouldn't be and a couple of them work, and then you're just like, why aren't these working? Why aren't these working? You know, then it's like it's your own fault. You know, you took a shitty trade. You took a trade in the wrong spot. You had it work a few times. Now it doesn't work anymore. Like, what do you expect? Some things are going to work. Everything's going to work some of the time. But it's you that has to work consistently if you want to, like, make money in this, you know? The first step is to, like, learn what they're talking about. The second step is, like, figure out what works for you. Because at the end of the day, it's you that's got to push the buy and sell buttons. You know, I'm not in charge of your account. You don't want me in charge of your account either. You want to be in charge of it. That's why you started this. So there we go. Yeah, these pound pairs, just looking for them to either bust through these higher time frame areas or start turning around here. That'd be kind of nice, huh? Get some nice buys here. That's not a breakout line. I haven't broken up there yet. See, this is what I need to get the 6 boxes. So this, like what I was doing is like, it's just easier to move the red box in front of the green box. But that just messes with my eyes and what I see, so I gotta delete it. Plus, if you watch Scott McCormick's XLT, or not XLT, his core strategy recording, that's what he says. He's like, no more than 5. I'm pretty sure Kayla Christine says no more than 5 all the time too. But yeah, so that's it. Another day of not setting any trades up. We did have the New Zealand dollar opportunity there. If you're comfortable taking really small zones, feel free to take that one. Take a look at it again. I'm just not. That's part of the problem with trading the New Zealand dollar is like anything under like a 4-hour time frame is just going to give you really shitty, like, for me, I call it shitty. I think it's shitty. But like, see, the 4-hour zone, you get a 10-point zone. And I like to have 10-point zones before I even trade. I'll go as low as 7.5, depending on the pair. Yeah, you really need, if you're going to trade the New Zealand, for me, I got to have on like a 240 chart to be able to even trade it. Because once you hit the spread in there is like a 2-point spread will take out that 3-point zone as soon as you get in. It's like you're in, you're out, and you lost your money. Like, you just gave the markets a free percentage of your account. That's the way I look at it. Maybe you see it differently. I think Bashir likes to take pretty small stuff because it's like, you know, his theory is it's like, well, that's where the demand is, or that's where the supply is, so that's what I do. That's why I take what I take. And he does well at it, and that's what he makes his money on. But for me, I just need the bigger zones. That's just the personal preference there. But and there's maybe this. But, you know, that's all. That's all for today, guys. Merry Christmas and everything. Hopefully your holidays go well. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, if that's your thing. Whatever Muslim religion, whatever they celebrate during December holidays. Happy holidays to you. Have a great time. I might not be on tomorrow. I'll try to be back on tonight. I got a dinner at my dad's, and then I got a dinner at my mom's tomorrow, which is about an hour away from here, so I don't think I'll be on tomorrow, plus it's Christmas, and as much as I love to trade, I want to break too. Well, guys, we'll see you in a couple days on the 26th again, and happy trading.